Yeah. We are in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We talk weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful,
Classy Lady Sparkle.
and the beautiful,
Lauren Sizzle.
and the beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
We got a special. Well, she ain't a guest. She part of the show today. Tanisha is definitely in the building. She was one of our dynamic guests, and we want to dig a little deeper into some of the things she's doing because we love her, and you probably be seeing a little bit more of her when we talk weekly. So, without further ado, we gotta start our show with how was your day. So I'm gonna go with you, class lady. How was your day? How was your day?
Today wasn't too bad, but yesterday I was going to go. I took a Pilates class, and they're kind of expensive, so I went and bought the Pilates reformer. So I was out in Deep Jersey to get it, and I get a call. My daughter dislocated her shoulder.
Oh,
she was throwing the ball for her dog, and her arm popped out of socket.
Oh,
so they had to rush her to the hospital, and they gave her propofol, fentanyl, and they had popped it back in.
She's feeling good right
now.
now.
Well, she's better. This is
fentanyl.
Yeah,
she's feeling real good.
The reason I'm also mentioning it is, how many people I talked to that said they arm popped out and they popped it back in.
Yeah.
And some of these was when they was kids. They was like, "Oh, I was playing football and the coach popped it back in." I mean, you could literally see the bone. I was just like shocked.
If you box, most of the boxers out there, I mean, they used to stuff like that. If you wrestle and things like that, they're used to
pop out of socket, and you can see it and pop it back.
Well, you don't see the bone; you see it protruding in the skin.
Well, that's what it was. You didn't see her bone, but it was protruding. You seen a little bump. You know how the hangers leave a knot. It was like, oh my God. She was like, I said, "Oh wow." Yeah, I was like, that was crazy. But they just put her in a sling. She's good. She stayed at the house, so I just took her my grandbaby back. So she's better. But that was that was my couple days.
No doubt. All right, Sizzle, how's your day? Holla at me.
My day was busy on the computer, editing and getting some stuff done, which I usually don't get a chance to do much stuff on the computer and editing and video editing and all that good stuff. But I was working on that and just trying to stay busy. So that was pretty much my day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay.
Quiet, calm. Had some family visiting today. Just nice and chill.
You got family visiting every day.
All the time.
Your house, the hangout spot.
All the time. Yeah. And I got into the point where I have like a noise anxiety. So I like peace and quiet. I like peace and quiet. And it's just like a little bit of noise and it just gets to be too much for me. So
wait till some of that family start having babies. That peace and quiet ain't gonna be peace and quiet no more.
Yeah. Because it's funny because I was kind of thinking how when I'm around my parents and how I feel like now I'm them and they're me when I was a teenager. And my dad is just on his phone and it's like, Dad, you do realize they make headphones for a reason. You have AirPods, put them in. You're playing Candy Crush loud as I don't know what, and we're all trying to watch a movie or TV or something like that. It's just too much.
Once an adult, twice a child.
Exactly. Girl, that part. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Henry.
So speaking of peace and quiet,
yes.
After the stuff that I have to hear every day at the courthouse with them cases, when I come home from work, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to listen to nothing. So when I'm down, I am all the way down. I woke up at 11, ate breakfast, and went right back to sleep until it was time to show up here. I have to disconnect so I can recharge for next week.
That's a good. You were at the courthouse today?
No, just throughout the week.
Oh, okay, just to say, hey, let me have a Calgon moment.
I get it. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, there you go.
No. See, and don't give us no small. Yeah,
I mean, no, it's all good because that's a great actually transition because all I did was, I don't know if you, ladies and gentlemen, we talk weekly. We have a super crazy month, right? This is AI January. Now AI has been crazy, has been on everybody's radar. Everyone is using AI, using it, generative AI to be specific, but there's other people who's using automation and a lot of different things. And so we're going to do a lot and talk a little bit about AI, especially the ethical part of it, right? Because a lot of people are scared of AI. What is AI? Can they trust it? What can we do? So we've been doing a little digging, right, and doing our part with ethical storytelling, AI, giving information, giving news, just letting people know exactly what this thing is. And so I'll pull this up real quick so you guys know some of the things that We Talk Weekly are doing here actually at the studio at Philly Cam. And so let me see. So AI January, AI community conversations on trust, technology, and media. AI January positions We Talk Weekly not as an authority talking to audiences, but explaining information and having a great time. And one of the events that we're doing here at Philly Cam is actually AI powered video post production workflow. And what that is I'm going to show a few people how We Talk Weekly actually produces their content, get it out, and make sure that we put it on air right now. Some of you guys are hearing us on the radio, and we're able to utilize some of the stuff that we record and throw those clips in the audio so you can hear that. So if we need to run something later on, you can hear that live on the radio, in addition to how we upload here to Philly Cam. Now remember, we're on Comcast 66, Verizon Fios 29 and 30, and Comcast 66, right? And so we're all over the place. We're on the radio, we're on television, we're actually streaming on all platforms. So if you're watching us here on WeTalkWeekly.com, you see us there. We're all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. We are podcasting. Let me tell you something. We have people from Africa reach out to us, say, oh my God, I'm listening to your stuff. From Europe, we're all over the place. So we're super excited about those who have been following and listening to us. So we're super excited about that. And so what? Go ahead, Class. Go ahead. She was holding her breath. Go ahead. Holler.
Yeah, well, the AI part. You gonna tell us about what I saw you post?
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's another great transition. So
that was thorough.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm gonna play a little something that I actually put all of the videos together. So I did some generative AI, right? So video storytelling, right? And so pretty much what that is utilizing AI, right? Creating visuals that look similar to me, but not me. However, I did upload some images that looks like me into a generative system, put some storytelling together, something that we do here at We Talk Weekly. And if you're a storyteller, you create videos. A lot of people understand that. If you're a creator, put them all together and created a 1-minute piece for our social media. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go to our social media right now. But if you have seen it, most people have been asking me, when are you going to do round 2, right? And so I did the first one and I just threw that out there, but people were like, yo, that's crazy. Can you do another? So I did another one, right? So let me give you a context, right? The context was some of my favorite horror related movies. Now, everyone knows, you know me, that's all I like to watch is horror movies, thrillers, scary movies, slashers. That's what I like to watch, right? And so these were some of the movies that I really liked or gave me some type of trauma that I'm living with today since I've been young, right? So the first thing I did, some of the characters. The next one was actually dolls. Now, a lot of people are terrified of dolls, right? When it comes to like the Chuckies, to the Broms, to all of these, even, I don't know if you saw the little, you know, the puppet. Yeah, that one too. So it's a lot of different dolls throughout the course of my rearing, right, as I was a young guy to now, that I really was like, yo, totally freaked me out. Now, one of the things I say that you'll see in this little pic, is about 2 minutes, is the scariest movie that scared me of all time, and that's The Exorcist. Only because that can potentially be real, right? And so that scared the bedoozers out of me, right? And I can't stop watching. I watch it at least once a year because it's good. Then they came out with another one. She did the crab walk that really freaked me out too. And that was so when I tell you about scary movies, that's probably the scariest movie of all time to me. But it's some close runner-ups, right? And so I want to know, but make sure you put in a comment. If you watch and put in a comment, what's one of the scariest movies that scared you? know that you're still suffering from today. Now, let me tell you something. If you're watching this and you're scared, oh well, as we talk weekly, we keep it a bean, right? But I'm gonna play this is about a minute and some change long. So we'll be right back after this, y'all. So I want you to watch it, enjoy some of the storytelling, and we'll be right back after this. All right, y'all. So, as you like that, yeah, no doubt. One of the things that a lot of people kind of picked up on was the fashion in it. Now, I'm a stylist, right? And so I had to make it fashionable, right? And so this has been one of the things in terms of me being an image consultant. I'm now a certified AI consultant also. So what I've been doing lately is actually just consulting different clients who want to either know AI, how to utilize or work their businesses within AI, or just have an understanding of AI in general. And that's what a lot of people are challenged with, right? What is AI, or how can I use AI, do it ethically, or what can AI actually do, right? So that's what I consult businesses in. So that's what some of my clients. So yeah, so that was my day.
I like them coats and stuff too.
Oh yeah, like the coat.
It was thorough.
Yeah, so
the concept though of taking a scary movie and somebody thinking fashion, that's the last thing that would be on my mind.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it worked.
But a lot of those people that do the designing, they win awards, for designing like the sets and the costumes and all that. But that doesn't really get talked about that much.
No, 100%, which is one of the things that I always talk about as an image consultant is, it's us, the stylists. No one knows who we are, right? We behind the scenes, which is cool to a degree, but some of the beautiful looks that you might see your Rihanna or your Cardi B's or your Meryl Streeps, those major big movies from Wicked, like people talk about the costumes in Wicked. It's somebody who actually put those things together.
I think y'all should get more credit because I feel like you have to have an incredible mind to fathom all of that and then to put it together nicely and to transfer well in the different medias and things like that. So I think y'all do need a lot of credit. Creatives, I think they're thinkers. I don't think they get enough sleep because their wheels are always turning. And so y'all definitely deserve so much more credit.
Yes.
No, and it's funny, but sleep don't matter to us, like the creators, right? Our sleep is just doing the work. We can't go to sleep because we'll just wake up and start creating, right? Especially if I got ADHD, right? And so, I'm constantly moving and my mind is constantly zooming, right? And so with that said, with the characters, what I did was I call it style flips, right? So what I'm doing is flipping what the particular character would wear. How do I interpret that, right? And what would it look like if I was dressed kind of like them in real life?
And I think that's what I was taking the fashion. Like I'm looking at Freddy Krueger, and what Sizzle said is like they don't get the credit for the credit of the fashion. However, when you flip that into modernization or trend, I'm not wearing Freddy Krueger's flannel stripe, but the way you set it up, I was like, I would rock that. That's even down to Saw, like it was the one with the clown with the like all of those. I was like, I would wear pinheads.
Oh, the bag. She said the bag.
I mean, even the accessories down to the animal, to the dog, like all of it was. It was very creative,
which he has in real life.
Shout out to Basquiat, right? Shout out to Basquiat, right? And so so that's what it is, right? When we talk about, and the reason I brought that up, which was a good transition, which you didn't know, but the reason why I played that because I wanted people to understand when it comes to AI, it's okay to say that it's AI. You don't have to front, right? People can appreciate the creative piece of it. Now, none of that could have happened without me. So it didn't replace me, right? I created it for that particular visual. So when you start to understand that, in which I talk to a lot of clients about, it needs you, right? The creative will never be replaced, right? If you're creative, it's going to need you to be that creative to do something like that. And that's only a drop in the bucket because you have to see some of the stuff that people have been doing. But there's a good side and then there's a negative side, which, Sizzle will go into a little later. But yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah.
It's hot. That was a busy day.
Yeah. Way too busy. Way too busy.
How was your day?
Yeah. How about that? Right. So I can get ready to make you a little busy.
How?
Huh? You ready for me?
Yeah.
She said, yeah. All right. Well, give me the good news and bad news by Classy Lady Sparkle. Holla at me early.
All right. Well, I know y'all been seeing a lot going on in the news with Trump. So he's been busy kidnapping people and a lot of other stuff, but I'm not even going to talk about that one. What I am going to talk about, it hits the local people more. President Donald Trump tried to freeze $10 billion in child care, family aid, and grants for 5 Democratic states. It was Cali, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. Now, these states says that it paused the spark because the operational chaos, which parents will get these checks, but now they're unsure whether the checks would arrive. So the HHS, which is the United States Department of Health and Human Services, they claim that they have reason to believe that the benefits were not going to people in the U.S. legally. They were going to people in the U.S. illegally. So they're basically trying to say undocumented people were getting these funding. So now, because of that, Trump wants to pause the money that's going through so that they can investigate it. But this is also going to impact people who are documented and need the funds. So there was a federal judge who temporarily blocked the Trump administration from freezing the child care and anti-poverty grant money. So the HHS said for at least 14 days, they are going to freeze it to protect the status quo while the case continues to play out. So they're still going to investigate it to see what's going on. Have y'all heard about the $10 billion? I
didn't realize the number was so high. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people who have to go without who are well deserving of what they need for an investigation. So they say one bad apple spoils the bunch, but you're punishing a lot of people unnecessarily. And we're talking about a basic life necessity. Food, y'all. Are you serious? People are giving out food for free on their own accord. So does the government really have to step in and punish people where they can't eat? That's retarded. It's ridiculous.
Right. And then I just want to give a shout out to a lot of the organizations that are stepping up to, give back to the community and to donate food and those that are donating to these organizations, the nonprofits that are saying like, hey, we have food here, come.
And this is also for, like I said, the child care grants.
Yeah.
So for the food, for the daycare centers,
Mhm.
for
That
so
too.
much of it that parents who work can't,
have lost their jobs.
Yeah, who were depending on a lot of the care that the family aid that they were given to when they're working. They can't. The state was paying for these these organizations, and now they can't get it.
And it's counterproductive because you want everybody at work. You want to cut the benefits, force everybody to work, but then you're going to do this, and people have to come out of work.
Right.
So it's a system that's not working.
Exactly.
But what are your thoughts on for people who are here illegally and need to be documented? Do you think that this is something that, like, hey, I get it, like, yeah, we are supposed to take a precaution towards that?
When you think about resources and things like that, maybe there's an argument, but I'll never understand the justification of basic life necessities. People need water. People need to eat. People need the opportunity to go to work, which sometimes means that they need help with childcare. And for people that are undocumented, many of them are working, albeit under the table, but sometimes they need the resources too. Do we have to be that ruthless and that rude and that much of a savage that people can't have basic necessities?
Exactly.
I was watching something on the news, and a lady was at the border. It was a lot of Americans, and they were elderly Americans walking freely, laughing over to Mexico to get medical attention.
Wow.
They basically, when they were interviewing people, they said that the prices in Mexico are far cheaper. They can use cash, which is cheaper than even using their insurance here in the States.
Wow.
So I don't know if she was a journalist, but the person who was taping it said, we're able to freely walk over to Mexico to use their services, but them coming over here is a problem.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that wild?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is.
And I didn't look at it that way until I saw that bit. I was like, oh, wow, they're going over there to get medication, they're getting services, dental work, health care, and then they're coming home to their beds at night. You know,
with no issues,
because Mexico is right there where, California and all that stuff in there. So, all right. So here's the next story. A few days ago, a young woman named Renee Nicole Good, she's a 37-year-old mother of 3. She was shot by an ICE agent during an operation in Minneapolis. So video from that incident shows that Good calmly said, "I'm not mad at you," to the ICE agent moments before she was shot. However, some authorities are saying that the ICE agent was struck by Good's vehicle. The investigation is still underway with that. However, here in Philadelphia, our own hometown, Sheriff Rochelle Bilal, she's trending after a fiery warning aimed at ICE. At a press conference with DA Larry Krasner, Bilal called ICE made up, fake, wannabe law enforcement. And she said if any of those agents commit crimes in Philadelphia, they won't be protected by federal power. The clip went viral, and some supporters said that it was overdue and needed accountability. But the critics say it's reckless rhetoric, and at least one Florida Republican publicly called for her arrest. ICE protesters have taken to the streets of Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. One of the quotes that I think Sheriff Bilal said is, "They don't want this smoke." I'm talking about the ICE agents.
They don't want this smoke. I already said they don't want this smoke in Philly. Make Philly a little different. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that, though? You got some people saying, well, the Republicans, especially this one in this Republican in Florida, who said that he's calling for her arrest, and it was reckless and rhetoric based on her position in law enforcement.
Stay in Florida.
Okay. And then you have people here that is saying that it's about time that someone in law enforcement is saying that, taking the accountability of it.
Yeah.
And also because your background, both of you, with the justice system, what is the responsibility for the sheriff's department here in Philadelphia? Because it's not like it's the Philadelphia Police Department. Can somebody tell us?
I don't have a clear understanding of them, but they are a distinct function from the police force. What I see at the courthouse is that their sheriff staff in the police houses, not, in the courthouses, not actual police. They do have different duties. The sheriffs in the courthouse work not only to secure the building, but they'll participate in roundups on the weekends where they go out and literally pull people out of their homes to bring them in the building for back support and things like that. So sometimes you'll come in the courthouse in the morning time and see at least 100 men in a line wrapped around the corner because they were all, put together in the roundup for that morning. Some of them do bicycle duty, just like the police, but their duties are different. I believe that the sheriffs come right below the police in terms of their authority, so they don't have all of the same authorities. But with respect to the law enforcement, I saw something today on Facebook, and I know Facebook is not a reputable news source that supported what you said about Sheriff Bilal, but then the police chief has the complete opposite approach. And I understand the differences of opinions. I'm not here to say who's right or who's wrong about their approach. Just last week, I believe outside of the criminal justice, the CJC, that courthouse, someone was arrested by ICE or detained by ICE following a hearing that they did participate in. And while, the rumor is that it was a justifiable arrest, I don't know the details of it, that people are less likely to come to court to appear to their hearings when they know that ICE will be in the building or sometimes literally inside of the hearing.
Wow.
And so when I was running for judge, a lot of those ICE questions came up, like, well, what kind of judge are you going to be? Are you going to stare the law in the face and tell them to get out the courtroom and things like that? Because they do have a right to be there, especially in the criminal courthouse where it's open public seating. And my response was, understanding that sometimes that can come off as witness intimidation. Absolutely, I would ask them to respectfully leave the courtroom so that we can continue with this administration of justice here. When they exit the building, that is free game. But to sit here and kind of target a witness, intimidate a witness, maybe even sway potential testimony, or for them to possibly escape so that this administration of justice does not get resolved, I think that's not the correct approach. And so can we both do our jobs? I understand that you have a job to do, but can you do it separately from here was generally my approach.
Good observation.
Yeah, and what I would add to that, that was well said. And as she said, the Philadelphia Police Department, the police commissioner did put out a statement, basically, separating the police department, Philadelphia Police Department, from the sheriff's department, and it was a lot of people that were pretty much supporting what she said. And then you had some that were kind of pretty much against it, calling her reckless, her statements and all that. But, at the end of the day, police are here to protect and serve. They do have different duties and things that they do. But, Commissioner, I'm looking right at his face and I'm getting ready to call him the previous commissioner's name.
For Philadelphia.
Yes. Bethel, Kevin Bethel. Right. He was basically saying, the sheriffs, because he said that they were getting a lot of calls, I guess, from people just calling in, with concerns about her, about Sheriff Rochelle saying, her statements and all that, and basically complaints and all that, and what are their authorities and what they can do. And I guess when you think about other jurisdictions in other states and the smaller rural areas, the sheriffs are, I guess, basically they function the way that a police department would. So from somebody, I guess, in a rural area, maybe in a smaller city or town or something like that, they may think that the sheriff's department is the police department, that they have the authority to do whatever. So I don't know if that's why they're getting the calls, but he basically was making it clear, no, this is all they do. They do lockups, they transport the prisoners from the prison to the courthouse, or if they go out and they arrest people on warrants, and basically making a distinction between those duties.
Wow.
But
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I just brought it up. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of lengthy, but it highlights what you both just said. It says that over the past 24 hours, Philadelphia Police Department has been inundated with calls and emails from across the country and around the world, which makes it necessary to clear up some confusion about law enforcement authority in the city of Philadelphia. And this is coming from Commissioner Kevin J. Bethel. But he states, and I'm just going to read, you all can, go on here and see it. Mm-hmm. But he says the Philadelphia Sheriff Office is a separate entity led by an elected official, which is currently Sheriff Rochelle Bilal, with a mission that includes court security, the service of legal process, prisoner transport, fugitive apprehension, and sheriff sales. It does not police the city of Philadelphia, conduct criminal investigation, nor does it in any way direct municipal policing. So he goes on to say more, but he's basically, he's it's not like a confirm nor deny kind of thing, but it's
he playing safe. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but he does
like I ain't say that.
He says at the end that the Philadelphia Police Department will continue to work professionally with all of our law enforcement partners, but clear lines of authority and accurate public representation of those roles are essential to maintaining public trust and effective public safety operations. Mm-hmm. So he did address it. Yeah. And I'm glad that you two are here with your skill set to, give us the differentiation between Philadelphia, police and
yeah. And if you think about it, even for the sheriff's department to be able to step in to make an arrest for an ICE officer or any type of thing, there it has to be at least like, the police have to make an arrest, and then the district attorney files. It has to be like a process. It can't just be like, oh, the sheriff comes in and just makes an arrest and that's it. Like it has to be a process. So.
No, but that's where when it comes to ICE, it's so confusing to me because you have these jurisdictions, right? So when it comes to ICE, quote unquote, detaining or making an arrest, they don't have to, and I'm kind of asking, but they don't have to confer with like the police department first before they did. Like, how does that work?
They should, right? They should, and they usually try to work together to coordinate that. But I think there was issues when they were coming in, quote unquote, I guess, Democrat run states, and they weren't getting that collaboration that we're going to come in and we're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Especially if they were a safe haven, like
exactly, right? When you have these safe haven cities, you're not going to get that cooperation and collaboration the way you would in areas where there is no safe haven. Mm-hmm. So that's when it's just like, all right, well, we're just going to go in and do our thing and
do our thing. Well, see, that's the problem, right? So when you have like organizations come in like that with no seemingly oversight, right? Then you have people like, well, what is the thing that you're doing? Please explain it. Like, give us some protocols that it seems that you're not following. You covering your face seems so
and when have you ever seen a police officer cover their face?
But that's where I was about to go, right? Okay. And so it doesn't appear to be under a protocol unless you're a safe example like the feds and you're operating under kind of cloak and guard because you're supposed to be undercover, but that's not what they're doing. Right. So it leads one to have all of these questions, which I'm seeming that someone like your professional skill set might come into play to be an attorney and be like, yo, I see loopholes all through this stuff. Like, so that's where I'm kind of questioning what all of this stuff is, because it's so confusing. It's so, because when they first came out, you had people in ICE vests with shorts on, with masks. Look, literally looking like someone who would, if you come into a town like Philly, where it's stick up haven, someone come to you like that, you're like, yes.
Yeah, and imagine if it's confusing to you. Yeah. Imagine it being confusing to someone who doesn't speak the language.
That's right.
Somebody who, isn't aware of their own rights. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you have people who are impersonating those people.
Mm-hmm. That part.
Absolutely.
And things are happening that shouldn't be. People are being robbed. People are being raped. People are being assaulted.
Yep.
So going back, not just on the comment from not going back just to the comment of Sheriff Bilal, but going back to Renee Nicole Good, the 37-year-old who was basically killed by an ICE agent. Understanding that she was in the vehicle and they're still under investigation, they're trying to say that maybe the vehicle was used as a weapon. But that's still unclear. What grounds is it for the ICE agent to have shot her as a person who was potentially unarmed? And you're trying to apprehend somebody, but they're not a threat to society.
Well, that from my understanding is using a vehicle as a weapon, so to speak, toward the particular
right. Well, that's why they said it's still under investigation because based on the body
cam. But
that's
the argument. That's the argument.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're having people literally saying like, she. You can see him kind of dodging out. They showed this other.
You see his feet
kind of clearly
moving out the way.
So, which I seen a video where they was like he could have literally just backed up and he would have been all right. But in any event, this whole thing is just so confusing and dicey when it comes to these ICE agents. I don't even know if they get sworn in. Like, what do they do?
But that's what I wanted to know. Like, what recourse from a justice perspective is the person documented? They still don't know because they were apprehending her to see if she had documents and what can her family do? And, what would be a good suggestion for somebody, for someone in that position?
One, I have a question. I didn't see any distant reading and just I'm listening to your stories. What is the issue about determining whether or not he was actually hit? If they have body cams, if they have the multiple angles, what are we still trying to decipher at this point? So that's major to me. And then the answer to the question, because the weapon, if the vehicle was used as a vehicle, then the proper defense would be something of the same stature. A justifiable defense would be to do something heavier, which sometimes may include a gun. But with respect to her family and things like that, I would think they need to seek out either immediate counsel or an agency that gives out services, because if there are children involved and they're still the family members, the children are going to need some assistance, some financial assistance, maybe even a place to stay for a while. But then someone might need to services that provide finances for the attorney or finances for her potential release in the meantime while they sort this out. So they're going to need a lot of things right now. And I don't know if she has the means to pay for any of those things, which is why I'm suggesting an agency who specializes in this kind of area, so they can get some footing, some stabilization. They can go somewhere and she can get her questions answered. And then I don't know if her primary language is English. She would need resources in a legal language that she's able to identify with, because legal language for us who speak English is still complicated for us. And then everything does not translate appropriately. So she would need services to help her where she is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And she was shot and
I'm sorry, her family needs them. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so sad. So sad. All right. I have. Say it again.
Oh, yeah. No, I was agreeing. It's just horrible because it definitely could have been avoided. I've seen so many different, trained law enforcement officers that have years and years and years in, their career saying that he should not have shot this woman.
Another thing you said makes me think. I don't know anything about the ICE process, but I understand that it's a function of the federal government, not necessarily local and state governments. But if I look right here in the city, at least since COVID, so we're in 2026 now, there has been a massive push to hire any and everybody, for as long as you're at least 18, to be either a police officer or a sheriff, because it's in demand. I know the crime rate is going down significantly here, but it's still a city of a lot of crime. And the way the police officers have been losing their lives and on duty, they've been asking people to join the force in masses. And so I don't know if they're getting the same training. I don't know if it's a quick fix. Let's get you out here so you can do your job. And even if they're going through however long it might take on a regular basis, it takes a while for things to settle, for things to set in, and for all the stuff that you have to learn. People skills, I'm sure, are not taught. How to deal with mental disabilities are not taught. How to deal with language barriers. I'm sure there's not enough focus on those things to get the officers ready to go out for crime prevention. And so I'm wondering if the same tactic, I believe with my whole heart, the same tactic is being used with the ICE agents, because there's so many efforts with the wall and to keep people out and to detain people. I'm sure they're just hiring people left and right. So then you get that person showing up in the vest and some shorts as if they had no training. And then you get the issue of the impersonators. So I feel like part of the problem are the administration and the mass hire, and whether or not the training is adequate or sufficient or even long enough.
Well, the training is inadequate because there's been such an initiative to kind of expedite and push these people through that they were supposed to get 13 weeks of training. Now they're cutting that in half. Wow. So you think of the amount of training that a police officer goes through. You have to get gun training and all that, and the weeks and months of training that they go through. And they, they're carrying weapons and all that. And sometimes they go away and they have gun training, and they go away for 6 months and they have that type of training. And these people are just being expedited and pushed through and just sent out onto the streets. And you see even on LinkedIn, you see these Uncle Sam ads, like Uncle Sam wants you and sign up for, ICE, and ICE needs you. And
I thought that was AI, but it was real.
It is real. And then the $50,000 sign-on bonus. That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And for somebody who needs a job and they're almost guaranteed to get one, who do you think, especially if you're from a rural part of town, a rural part of the country, and you already have some preconceived, ideals and notions, and you already have possibly a chip on your shoulder.
And target practice in your backyard.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And let's see what head is on there.
That's right.
But one thing I wanted to talk about that Tanisha brought up was about like the mental health part. I was reading something, and it said that when you have a family member that's going through mental health, don't immediately call the police, call the fire department. The fire department or firefighter and rescue. They're going to show up, they have the training, and they don't have weapons. So with your loved one who may potentially be going through something is going to be far better, rescued in whatever it is versus their life being on the line.
I would even add to, because my background is in social services, primarily with children or young adults, but I just worked as a manager for a group home who had 18 homes throughout the Pennsylvania region. And our staff would, like regular people, when something was going down, would call the police. And we're like, no, please refrain from calling the police. But then you would get the children's attorneys like, why they can't call the police? We don't want to put them in more danger. So instead of calling police, we would call crisis, who are trained for crisis prevention, or when there's a crisis escalating, they're trained to bring people down. And if, further stuff is needed, they're have their escort services. They'll take them to different facilities for whatever treatment they might need, or even just to get away overnight to calm them down. And so if not the fire department, call crisis intervention is what I would suggest.
Absolutely.
That's great advice. Yeah. Do you have a number on crisis intervention?
No, but I can get one to y'all.
Yeah.
It was based off of what county we were in for all the homes, so every number was different.
That's what I was going to say. That's look up your local, county.
All right. Okay. Well, on a lighter note, Philly.
Real quick, I just want to say this one thing on it, which is the reason why they explain defunding the police wasn't necessary, taking away money from them, but reallocating to certain services like crisis intervention. And I think that's something that truly needs to be explored. Yeah, I mean, literally, you could have someone that's stationed at the police department that when it's time to roll out, they jump in the car with them. Like, it's just that simple. Like, it's not hard, right? Oh, go ahead.
Good point.
Simple.
All right. On a lighter note, Philly landlords can no longer charge more than $50 for a rental application.
I was thrilled to see that.
Yes. So as of December, renters can now pay security deposits and installments as well instead of all at once. Wow. The law aims to make the Philly rental market more accessible as costs rise. So if a Philadelphia landlord isn't following the city's rental rules, like the new security deposit installment law or any other tenant protections, here's who a renter can call. They can call the Philadelphia Tenant Hotline at 267-443-2500. That's 267-443-2500, or the Philly Fair Housing Commission at 215-626-4670. Or you can always Google them to go on their websites. Yeah. And that was your good news and your bad news from your girl, Classy Lady Sparkle.
And that was your good news and bad news by Classy Lady Sparkle. I'm your boy, Charles Gregory, the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
And listen, look, that was a great transition. I'm going to play this now. Listen, there's a lot of, I don't want renters to feel like, oh, we don't have any rights. And it's a lot of rights that, people who are renting has, right?
They have more rights than the landlord in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Philly is tenant friendly. Absolutely.
Yes, it's tenant friendly. So you do have rights. I'm going to play something because even the renters have some rights or can get some type of services. We actually covered, We Talk Weekly doing our due diligence and, trying to get stories to which you can go on our front page and you'll see the community advocacy kind of conversation that they had about renters and employees within that. So I'm gonna just play this little clip and we'll be right back.
So that is our rental improvement fund. The loans can go up to $100,000 for the properties. Okay. High overviews, just want you to know. So if you are a small landlord, you can use this. This loan is used to help with things to keep the property healthy and safe for your tenants, such as upgrading the electrical system, storm doors and windows, new heaters, lead abatement, hardwire sprinkler systems, those kinds of things. That's what you can use this for.
See, so when you talk about like, what about me? It's a lot of opportunities for people who are renting, and producing these houses. Some of these landlords that need services to fix their houses, and so they're not slumlords. There's some things out there for you. So you want to go to We Talk Weekly right now, look on our front page, and you'll see that little flyer, and it talks about all of the services that's not only for landlords but people who are renting as well. So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wanna. I need to call that number.
No doubt.
I do.
I wonder, Dad, are you listening? Please go to the website right now.
Yes.
No doubt. So I want to pull up a couple of these. My guy Dennis Atkins, he's like, yo, what up? What's up, Spark? What's up, Gregory in the building? What's up? Happy New Year. Jocelyn is one of dynamic PR publicists out there doing some great work. Make sure you reach out to us, Josh. We could use you. Of course, Dennis, she thought like Lauren. He gave you a shout out, Lauren. Hey. Tish, shout out to Tish. She said Happy New Year. That's one of our people right there. Absolutely. And so I just wanted to say a couple different things out there. People are actually shouting us out, and of course the work that we are doing. We have an amazing time right now. So I don't want you guys to go anywhere. We're going to cut to a little break. We almost at the top of the hour. This is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. I'm going to cut to a little break, and then when we come back, we got Sizzle. You going to be ready for me when we come back?
Yeah, we're going to continue the conversation from earlier.
Yeah, we're going to continue the conversation from earlier. But before then, why don't you let us know how they can support us real quick? Before we go to cut to a break, how can they support us?
Yeah, so if you guys want to support what we are doing, make sure you catch us on all social media and major podcast platforms and subscribe so you never miss an update. If you want to stay connected and entertained and keep up with this movement, support us on Cash App. You can go to $ We Talk Weekly and go to wetalkweekly.com, and you can donate via PayPal, and no donation is too great or too small.
Fantastic. Let's go to Milano. We'll be right back, y'all.
Mama Near Club.
Say that again.
Mama Near Club.
Mama Near. That's a hard word. Mama Near. Can y'all say that?
The Mama Near Club. I started the Mama Near Club when I was pregnant with my son. I was learning so much, and I didn't realize how many options that we had. Like growing up in the hood, options not really presented to you. You just feel like you got to follow suit with whatever people say you got to do. And as I started to do my research, I'm like, okay, a lot of people could benefit from this information that I'm researching. So I would just share all of the information that I was learning so other people can realize that they got options. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter what your income level is. You got options.
So describe what the Mominaire Club is.
So the Mominaire Club is a club for moms that's on a mission to make their dreams a reality. A lot of times when you have kids, you feel like your world is over. And no, that's when your world just began. Because like the true blessing to your children is a mom that's fulfilled, So I don't believe in stopping your dream for anything. You got to figure out how to balance both. And I don't like to say balance because when you think of balance, you're thinking like this, right? And you just never really steady. I like to harmonize, like see how it can all flow together. And I just think that as a mom, you don't have to stop your life. Men don't stop their life when they have kids. That's when they go harder. And I feel like we can do the same thing too. So that was that. It was just to encourage moms. You got this. Listen, you got this. You done birthed a whole human and you figured it out. That's the hardest job in the world. Nobody ain't tell me that. You figure that out. I'm sure you can figure this business out,
We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle
and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and the beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
All right, so you already know what's going down. Sizzle, holla at me.
Yeah, so this is a special segment of the Sizzle. And I'm just titling this "When Seeing is No Longer Believing." You know how you say, I can't believe my eyes. Well, when you go on social media, now you're saying that even more than ever now, because AI deepfakes is the crisis of trust right now. So video evidence was once considered one of journalism's strongest tools. Well, today that assumption is rapidly breaking down. Advancements in AI now allow for the creation of highly realistic deepfake videos, audio, and images. Content that can show real people saying or doing things they never did. So to most viewers, these fabrications are nearly impossible to distinguish from reality. That poses a serious problem for journalism and the public. So take a look at this clip right here.
Okay, let's talk about something that's becoming a real problem for journalism right now. AI deepfakes.
Why did you hurt my son? He has a mental condition. He's a good boy. How could you do this?
Ma'am, stay calm for me. Keep your hands where I can see him. We're going to get him some help, all right?
On the evening of May 12th at Greenfield Police Station in Wayne County, Michigan, a shocking incident unfolded that has left the community outraged. A 9-year-old boy named Samuel Carter wandered into the station after losing his way home from a nearby playground. Instead of receiving help, Samuel was subjected to excessive force by officers who misinterpreted his behavior.
AI can now create videos, audio, and images that look completely real. People saying things they never said, doing things they never did. And honestly, most people wouldn't even know the difference. For journalists, that's dangerous. Deepfakes make it harder to tell fact from fiction, especially during breaking news. And they seriously chip away at public trust. That's why newsrooms are leaning harder than ever on verification, digital forensics, and ethical standards. Just because AI can move fast doesn't mean journalism should cut corners. At We Talk Weekly, facts always matter, and protecting the truth is our top priority.
So in a recent educational example, an AI-generated deepfake falsely depicted a police department, which in the clip you just saw, Greenfield in Wayne, Michigan, of being involved in a violent incident resulting in a child being shot. So this video was entirely fabricated. The event never even happened. Yet this footage appeared convincing enough to spread quickly on social media, showing how easily misinformation can be weaponized. Right. So deepfakes are especially dangerous during breaking news. This is when a lot of it really gets out and just spreads like wildfire. So when urgency, this is breaking news. Deepfakes are especially dangerous during breaking news when urgency can override verification. They can distort public understanding, damaging reputations, and further erode trust in legitimate reporting. So in response, newsrooms are relying more heavily on verification, verifying this information, digital forensics, and other ethical standards, which is often choosing to slow reporting rather than risking spread this falsehood. Speed may drive social media, but accuracy remains journalism's responsibility. Mm-hmm. So for the public, the warning is clear. Emotionally charged videos without confirmation deserve skepticism. So when I just said, I can't believe my eyes, the best thing to do is to say, hey, I can't believe my eyes. Let me go verify this. So when in doubt, pause before sharing this. Because the difference in misinformation and disinformation, when you share it mistakenly, that's misinformation. But when you purposely share it, that's disinformation. Mm-hmm. Because the intent is that you're doing it to deceive. Right. But at We Talk Weekly, as I said, facts matter. So we're in an era where seeing is no longer believing, and protecting the truth isn't optional, it's essential.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Can I just comment on that?
Sure.
When I was running for office and I had an interview with the Pennsylvania Bar Association, they asked me if I had ever had a mashup or an experience with AI in the law. And I had one, and it was terrible. And somebody in my office decided they wanted to play the lawyer for the day and research a legal issue presented to the board and the CEO as if these were the right things. And they got to it before I did because I was actively pursuing an emergency on one of the campuses. Right. So I didn't have time, and everybody knew where I was. So by the time I got back to me, everybody's on board, and we're going to go this way. Mm-hmm. It took me 15 seconds to glance at everything that they had done. And I immediately, without ever having used AI before, I immediately knew that it was AI. It was in an area of law that I did not practice, but I learned enough in law school to know a little bit about everything. And I knew immediately this is all wrong. Wow. So now I had to go before a board of people and convince my CEO, who is convinced that this is the legal action that we're going to take. You guys are wrong, and these are the reasons why. But of course, they wanted to listen to AI and not the actual attorney. We went through 3 attorneys who gave them the 3 senior attorneys. They've been practicing law longer than I've been alive. And they told them the same exact stuff that this little attorney told them. You can't use AI for accuracy, for truth, for a valid depiction of things. And so when they asked me that question in the interview, I told them, I didn't tell them the story in detail because that wasn't really the focal point. But I'm struggling to see where AI belongs in law. I'm struggling to see where it belongs in journalism, because nothing beats an accurate depiction. You want to recreate a crime scene, but it's not going to be accurate. What's wrong with a traditional photo that can be authenticated by the person who actually took it with an accurate time, state, and date, so that people are getting clear facts? You're asking these jurors to weigh in on stuff. Why are we using animation and not the real deal? So I understand that AI can be great in media, in TV, in animation, and things like that, even to help a child write a book report, which is what I told them. But in matters that are serious, matters where you're looking for a truth and where you're looking for accuracy, when someone's life is at stake, I'm still trying to figure out why or how AI belongs there.
Yeah, and I had that question posed to me. I had that question posed to me also, and a lot of that is with targeted information and understanding. There are a lot of ways that people can utilize it to make sure that it's done ethically and morally, so to speak. Because I think oftentimes people, and I'm glad that you were able to pick that up, that it was AI, because a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't, but if you have an eye, you kind of can tell something isn't right with this, right? But there are AI tools that actually fact check, right? That fact check to say this is not accurate, right? And so I think there's great room to have this discourse and conversation about AI and the tools and utilizing it as a tool. I think oftentimes people don't treat it as just a tool. They treat it as this is what it is, and this is what I'm doing, and this is everything, right? No, just like you use a keyboard, which is a tool, that's all it is. Just like you use a pen instead of a pencil, it's a tool. Use it as a tool. Think of it like that, and then we can go. Yeah.
I think AI was an infant and now it's an adult.
Yeah.
And I think people are forgetting that we have been using AI in so many ways.
Yeah.
To Tanisha's point, definitely I work in healthcare, so you're not going to use it for accuracy, but it is a helping tool as a system for certain things that make the job a little easier, like the paralegal getting certain documents. Like it's certain systems that are definitely needed to be utilized. Again, AI was an infant umpteen years ago. Now it's an adult, and I think that we're looking at it as if it were never around, and it's always been around.
Yeah, that's because there's no true understanding of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, literally DocuSign.
It was just AI. When you
AI.
call and they say, automated system, press 1, press 2. That's all AI. Phishing. When you get emails, the first thing in corporate America is they say, how do you recognize it? Now, because it's more on the, phonetic spellings, like you'll look and see if the URL has a double G in the word, or if it's something that's upside down, they're like, oh, there it is. But it's gotten even better because of AI that you think it's coming from your corporate organization. And as soon as you click, it has hacked into the system. So AI, people, it has been around for over 35 years. When you were in the market and those AOL little, and you had to put it in and you can't be on the phone and you hear it dialing up, it has been around forever. It's just an adult now. It's no longer an infant.
And I think the negatives of it is what's kind of like
it trumps. It trumps everything.
Yeah.
Pun intended, right? It trumps everything, right? How about that, right?
Yeah, because you trusted it before, right? Because it wasn't doing what it wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but what's starting to happen now is,
well, it was an infant and you had control. Now it's
right.
like it's an adult and it's like,
in the
hey,
wrong hands.
I can do what I want.
That's why
and
it's scaring people. That's why it's scaring people, because remember, AI is machine learning, right? It's learning very rapidly, right? And it's starting to think for itself. And so you need the people who are actually, I appreciate the naysayers, so to speak, to balance those who just literally think about AI and that's all they want to do. And AI is God. You have a lot of people that's using AI as their girlfriends or boyfriends. It's wild, right? And so you need this, this intersection of people that's very skeptical, which is those who will probably lean toward ethics and realism. And then you have those who are in the tech field who truly are in the midst of, artificial intelligence, right? And so you need a group. That's what community is, right? You need the community to be able to have these checks and balances, and that you can argue what's right, what's not, and have an opposite position. I think that that's necessary with this whole ecosystem, artificial intelligence.
And this may or may not be a good analogy, but remember when people started cloning stuff and it was just like, whoa, where's this going?
Right.
The AI, like, whoa, where's this going?
I think it's also, speaking about analogies or different types of parables, what's the one where it says nurture loaded the gun, nature pulled the trigger? It's what we put in it. It can't work unless we load the gun. Literally, we have to put the information in order to disperse it amongst the mass.
Well, just a little pushback on that, because they're finding, which is the scary part, that AI is training itself so well that it's doing things without a prompt, which is the scary part, right?
But you still had to load it.
You had to, but now it's like, well, you showed me how to load. Now I found a way to load myself.
I don't need you no more.
I don't need you no more.
What was Will Smith movie?
That's what I was about to say. iRobot.
And that's my favorite movie.
It's happening.
The NS5s. They had the NS4s.
Yeah, because he was running from the robots and he had to make it back to the building at night and all
that's
that.
That's my favorite movie.
That's what made me think of that when you said
they eventually program themselves.
Yes.
And that's what's starting to happen, right? They're finding
they're overriding the 3 laws.
Yeah, they're overriding.
I mean, and what you said about cloning, whenever you think about like IVF, like I was talking to my kids today and I was saying how now IVF is at 45 years later. And now they're seeing what the problems were with IVF. So you couldn't see anything beforehand. Because of the time. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that 35 to 40 year mark. Now they're seeing that IVF kids have problems because during gestation, whatever was the natural way when creating a baby, it's a part missing that they can't even find because you can't have a scope on the penile while, you know what I mean? While it's going through, I'm trying to keep it PG, through the vaginal cavity. They're now seeing that kids that were now at 40 years old, they have autoimmune, they have eye problems, even the skin, the layering of the epidermis and the subcutaneous dermis, it's not even adding up to what it is if they went through regular gestation.
Wow.
So we're not going to know a lot of, things until a lot later. Like I said, AI's been around. It was an infant, now it's an adult. Yeah. And it kind of has a mind of its own, trying to create one.
That's why guardrails are very important. Guardrails are very important. Guardrails are very important. And when I'm consulting with clients, that's one of the things that we talk about first and foremost, especially when they saying, I want AI. Well, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's do an audit, right? We do an audit and see what's the needs, right? And then let's put up those guardrails if you do want to use it. And that's one of those things. Yeah, absolutely.
But you're talking about America too.
Yeah. This is America.
Did you see Trump? And did you see it? Gambino, what's his name?
Childish Gambino.
Mm-hmm. Danny Glover. He has he has a video where he has no shirt on and he's like, this is America. They took Trump's likeness and it is spot on. And instead of it being Childish Gambino, it's actually Danny Glover. And it's even down to having the man that he kidnapped, the Venezuela president, dictator, whatever. But they're showing, you just got to see it. It's just, and that's AI. And it's so like Sizzle said earlier, they used to say a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's more, it's over 1 billion. And it doesn't necessarily mean just because what you see is what it is.
No doubt. All right. Well, we kind of co-opted your segment. Was that
Oh yeah, that was a Sizzle. I would say, just to make sure that you're keeping up with everything that we're doing this AI January. It's going to be so much to come. Go to wetalkweekly.com and you can check out all of the events that we have planned for this month. If you want to, get involved, keep in contact with us. I'm trying to see it from all the way over here.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
And so, make sure you stay tuned in. You can go out to our website. If you didn't get the newsletter, you'll see the newsletter. One of the stories that's on our site, you can check that out. Go to the news section and see the full story. But one of the main projects that we have that's happening here at PhillyCam, which we're super excited, make sure you donate, is AI-powered video post-production workflow. What you will learn is the exact format that We Talk Weekly utilizes when it comes to producing or the post-production of the content that we put out on radio, television, film. We're literally on radio, television, and we do some film type thing. We do some storytelling, right? And so you want to make sure that you join this class. You can go to phillycam.org and look into the workshops, and you'll see this particular workshop, AI-powered video post-production masterclass. Your boy, Charles Gregory, will be teaching that. So if there's anything you want to know about AI, you have some questions, especially about your business or anything like that, reach out to We Talk Weekly, holler at me. We'll make sure that we give you an audit and let you know how to do things ethically, right? And so We Talk Weekly's after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly's after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and a beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle
and a beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and a beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
And when we come back, y'all, we got a dynamic interview with someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. We're going to talk to the commissioner, but let's go to one of our young civic anchors that's doing the work out there that we had the opportunity to put together and work Youth Civic News that we'll be working on and putting some more content out there for these young people. But we'll be right back after this, y'all.
Hi, I'm Willow Jordan with Youth Civic News, and I'm here with my grandfather,
Willie Jordan.
And G-Pop, what brings you out tonight?
Well, I'm here to discuss the importance of the election that's coming up, and the responsibility that we have to do is get out to vote.
What is your role?
I wear many hats, but one is a community activist, and that means to keep people aware and make them informed on the issues of the day so they can come out and make a good choice on voting for the right candidates.
What are some of the issues you see?
Housing, education, transportation. There's a lot of things. Anything that we do in our lives has to do with elections, politicians, elected officials making those decisions. The amount of time that you stay in school and the amount of days you stay in school is based on what some elected official came up with. How important
is it to vote?
It is very important. It's not just important, it's responsible. Voting is not a selfish activity. It's a selfless. You vote to help others. So as you help others, people help you, and it'll be a better world, a better city, a better country to live in.
Where do some of your beliefs come from?
Well, my belief is based on, I guess, I would first come from my home training. My parents told me the importance of civic responsibility, caring, loving, sharing, being involved, being responsible on your actions.
Is there any positive knowledge you would give to the people who don't vote?
I would tell them if they can't come up with a reason why they should vote for themselves, come up with a reason why they should vote for someone else, for their parents, for their children, for more street lights, how they want a better community. Do it for someone else.
I'm Willow Jordan reporting from Youth Civic News, and I'm here with my grandfather, Willie Jordan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle,
and the beautiful
Lawrence
and the beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
And we are here with another segment. One of the segments that I love because I get a chance to talk to the good old folk, and it just so happened that this young fella happens to be someone I go a little way back. You know, we talk about like Boston Baked Beans, Mike and Ike's, Alexander the Great, Lemonheads, Chico Sticks, bazooka gum. You had that. You went back, no doubt. That was when it was penny candy.
Yeah.
It was penny candy.
I missed that.
We don't have no more penny candy. So, but yeah, without further ado, our classic lady, who do we have today?
Today we have the Philadelphia City Commissioner Omar Sabir. He's a nationally recognized civic leader focused on increasing voter participation, combating voter suppression, and engaging historically underserved communities through grassroots organizations and education. You already know what to do. Let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to Omar Sabir.
My brother, how are you? Hold on, let's see. Someone, this camera died. On me?
Let's get this camera.
Yeah, let's get this camera. There you go. Okay. This camera. This camera did something for me. Let's go. Let's fix this up. We're gonna make sure that we streaming right. Boom. There we go. There you go, live and direct. So how are you, my friend? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm great. I can't.
Let's fix his mic. Let's get his mic a little closer to him.
Let's go. Mic check 1 2.
Let me give mic check again.
Mic check 1 2. 1 2 on the
there
mic check.
There we go.
They got the sound.
They got the sound. Good as gold. So what's up, my friend? How are you? How's your day? You know, we always start with how was your day and all that good old stuff. You know,
oh man, day was great, man. Yeah. You know, very long day. You know, started off, talking to voters, talking to family and friends, everything. Just day starts early, like 7:30.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Ready for tomorrow.
Round of applause for that.
Hopefully, man, they do their thing. Jalen Hurts, man, that's my guy. He gonna do his thing.
Yeah, he gonna do his thing. Yeah, I'm convinced.
Not all of them. I know he gonna be there.
Yeah. Man, you heard about the restaurant that turned the 49ers away. We was like, no, we good.
Oh yeah, they should.
Yeah, they should, right?
They was very disrespectful the last time they came here.
Oh, right.
They gonna put a whole 49ers jersey on Rocky and all that. Oh man,
yeah,
they was tripping.
Can't do that, right?
They was tripping, but just seeing everything was going on, riding around the city, they kind of calmed down. But the one thing I didn't know, what I was a little bit oblivious to, it's Eagles fans all across the country. And they be flying over here to watch the games stuff. I'm like, go Birds. I'm like, okay. But the way they said it, I'm like, where you from? Like, I'm from like California. They come from all over. Like, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm like, did you ever live here? They're like, no, I just like the Eagles. Like the Eagles. I'm like, but then I'm thinking about it again. Like, hurts me good for a long So you do got like fans from like all over the country. And it's like, that's good.
Yeah, and he seems to I never met him, but he seems to generally be a good guy. Like
well, that's why they don't like him.
Right.
They like a lot of people that be into all of that. But he don't be into all that.
He don't.
Be about his business, man, and get out of here.
Yeah, no dirt on him, no nothing. He ain't in the middle of nothing.
And they don't like that. That's why they don't like him.
I know that's right. Yeah. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. You've been doing. I want to give you your flowers because you've been doing an excellent job since you've been the commissioner in innovating and some of the things that you have been putting in play for not only the voters but giving people jobs, right? Which has been amazing. And I want to know when you came in, did you have, say, for example, an agenda, something that you knew that you were going to do, or did it happen as you were in the space and was like, I'm seeing there's some pain points there I need to fix? What was that?
Oh, so when I first was thinking about, being in office, you got to listen support from everybody.
Yeah.
And one of the people who I spoke to was, at the time, she was a council member and she was a ward leader. So it's Mayor Sherelle Parker.
Okay.
I'm like, I want to need your support. She said, baby, why don't you think about 3 things you want to do? Just 3. Just cut it all down. And those 3 things was making office more accessible, transparent, and modernizing it. Making it easier for people to vote, updating some of the systems, and, just making it like an office that people can see, touch, and feel. And I think we accomplished those things.
I think you did. 100%. I have a round of applause, but I think you actually did. I think you did, and you continue to make like even voting more accessible. I think that has been a challenge. Sometimes people didn't know where they can vote. I think you were a huge advocate of just giving information on location, where to vote and how. In addition to like even some of the returning citizens, you spoke a little bit about that, where some of them didn't even know that they were able to vote, right? Which was huge to get that information out there. What is, knowing what you know now, right? Is there anything that you would have done differently as you came in, or you feel like you still on a trajectory of doing greatness pretty much in a position?
Well, it was just a lot of things that that came under my way, where it was like, I really wasn't supposed to be a commissioner. I was supposed to be in traffic court, right? Won for traffic court, came in first place. We won, and then right as soon as we won, they eliminated the office.
The office,
So it was
remember
like,
that, yeah.
okay. So I spent 6 years with Senator Benson Hughes, and making vote easy for him on the state level. And then we went down to commissioner's office. And it was interesting, the office was a certain way, but it's 2 things that opened up, right? When President Trump has said bad things happen in Philadelphia, that just opened up the floodgates. So it was a lot of hate, a lot of death threats, a lot of stuff. But then it also was a groundswell of love. There was a groundswell of funding. And then with the COVID pandemic, it was like, it was like a storm. And, through those things, we got those reforms that come in, because they wouldn't have came if everything was just normal.
Yeah.
For those listening, what is the duties or job description for the Philadelphia City Commissioner?
Okay, so there's 3 commissioners. It's a 3-member bipartisan board, which I serve as the chairperson of the board. I'm the second African-American chair of the board. It's been established in 1711. So there's 2 Democrats, 1 Republican. And so we were actually established first before anything. There were county commissioners who were overseeing everything in the city, because Philadelphia is a county and a city. So all of the
we call it Philly. We say we a state also.
Absolutely.
We say everything.
Okay,
No doubt.
right. So we're the largest
state.
Right. So we're a first-class city. We're the largest in Pennsylvania. We have over 1 million registered voters, and we were here first. And what happened was, all of our like neighborhoods used to be townships.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be like Frankfurt, King
Yeah,
Sesson, all those areas was small, like little township underneath Philadelphia County. And then it got to the point where they said, you know what, we need to have more revenue. People wasn't paying their taxes. And so you had your commissioners, and then they merged everything. And it was a great consolidation. So they put all the neighborhoods underneath one city. And then you had one city. And, you know, they started moving some of the duties from the county to city council and the mayors. So everything kind of ended up in its current form in about 1951 when we redid the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter. And our main function was overseeing the elections and the voter registration rules. So it's two components. One is overseeing elections, and the other is maintaining the voter registration list. And it's very critical that you have an independent body doing that, because if you don't, what happens is you'll have people getting taken off the voter registration rolls, and you know, people are not going to have their right to vote. And then also the voter registration rolls serve as the pool that you pull the people to serve on jury duty. So you pull them from the voter registration rolls. And so if you got people purging that list and not having the people on there, you're not going to have good people serving jury. That's why a lot of people in the South was really focusing on getting people registered. It was to vote. But then also you wanted to have people serving on jury duty, because sometimes, you know, like being a younger person looking at the history book sometimes, right? It's like, how the heck in the world somebody walk up to somebody, shoot somebody in the middle of the street and then get found not guilty? It was because you didn't have good people that were serving on jury duties. They was stopping them from being on the jury rolls. So it's important that as you vote, right, you be a part of the system, but you also serve on jury duty. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just push back, not because I believe that you should be on jury, but I think what, you know, from the things that I hear, you know, from the community is how disorganized it is. You know, they go down there, it takes forever to get their check sometime, or what can they do when they have an emergency and, you know, they have to leave? Why do they have to stay so long? I hear all type of stuff. And it's like, because I had a conversation with this gentleman who, you know, literally was fuming after he left, came to work and was like, I can't believe how it was crazy down there. I'm trying to perform a service and they giving me they butt to kiss. And how can you, understanding that and the frustrations of the people, inherent, you know, because it only take one person to tell 50 people for 50 people to be like, oh, I ain't doing that, you know. So how do you, you know, work with the organizers of, say, for example, jury duty to say, hey, there's some pain points here we need to fix. Let's fix them. And who is in charge of stuff like that?
Well, so it's the jury commissioner. So that falls underneath the first judicial district. But it all gets down to like what your belief is, to be honest with you. Like if you really truly believe that you are an American citizen and that's your duty to go down there and serve on jury duty, then you're gonna do it. And the fact of the matter is we don't do it. So at the end of the day, it's like you don't do it, but then you don't get justice. Right? When a cop, some law enforcement officers, they get off sometimes. You ain't sticking out. You ain't go through everything. Or it could be some innocent people that's getting sent upstate. It's a jury of peers. So it's your duty. You have to look at it as your duty.
And to his point, there are, and I don't want to get into like, you know, different races, but there are certain races, like you said, the person that's saying like, I had such a bad experience, like, you know, I'm not going down there and I don't want to do this and that and the other. There's our counterparts that are like, I'm going down there, this is my civic duty and I'm doing this and that and the other, and they're sitting on a jury that it is, you know, it's not representative of their peers, and they're making the decisions and we're not.
One thing I want to add to that is when people are stuck between which type of juror they want to be, what happens when it's your turn and you need a jury of 12 people that are representative in your community, or it's your own. And so if you think about it like that, it's just your turn to do a good duty, a good deed, or good service to somebody else, and pray that your turn or your family turn never comes around. But please at least show up for the common good.
I have a different outlook on the jury, though. I feel as though that some people who are in that position to make a life or death decision for some people are not always the competent people. that are in those roles. These are some people. I'm not just talking about education. I'm talking about morality. Like I've served on jury, and it seems like every time I try to get off, I'll say the outlandish thing and I'm still chosen, which is okay, because I don't know. I just think that they look at my attorney. Yeah, they look at my background and I don't know. But Philly, it's happened. And I'm like, I'm over serving, but hey, it's my duty and I appreciate it. However, when I look at the people that are sitting on that row with me, and when we go back and we're deliberating and we're going over the cases, there's some people in here, I'm ready to go. I'm just going to put them as guilty. Yeah. I'm like, we didn't even talk about the facts. They just want to be out. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I know that this has been in law for a very long time, but sometimes the people who are deciding are not always favorable, in my opinion, just from someone who has done it by experience. Nothing I heard, things that I saw, and I've served more than 3 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, again, it's just like, but everything worked out good because you was there, right?
No,
I'm saying, but you
because they were
but you added some sense to the room, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely advocated.
And that's the whole.
I understand that concept. Right? If I was.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you wasn't right. Just think about if you wasn't there. And there was another person there who was doing whatever else they was doing.
Yeah. Good.
So that's the whole reality of it. And think about it. If you got 12 people really of your peer that's reflective of you, that can hear, from the law enforcement, they can hear from the, the defense, and sort of weigh up and see exactly what's going on. I mean, sometimes law enforcement officers do lie. Mm-hmm. And you need somebody there with some common sense to say, I understand that.
I just think that with someone who's like, you look at corporate America, sometimes to do certain organizations, you have to take an aptitude test. I think that there needs to be something added to giving that civic duty to see if this person is competent, even if I'm there or not. I'm just saying, like, there's so many laws that haven't been changed. We're talking about AI. We're talking about many things that they're starting to change the law. The Trump administration is even doing that. Yeah. There are certain things, and it's going to come in time, but even in this conversation, it may have not been talked about. So now someone can listen to this and be like, hey, that's a good point. Let's go ahead and start looking at that. That's,
as an attorney, there's a strategy to jury picking, right?
Yes, but it does not factor what she's talking about.
Right.
And I agree with you.
Oh, awesome.
Because I'm in the courthouse every day and I'm hearing cases, I'm interacting with litigants, I'm giving them free range to speak and tell their stories, and I'm getting to gauge and assess their mental ability and capacity. And largely it is very limited, very subpar, very below what should be normal and acceptable. So when you put these kind of minds, like you said, on a jury trial where there's murder or somebody's facing a long sentence, people should be concerned. I absolutely agree with you, but there is no aspect of area law that challenges or tests people's aptitude. Shouldn't that be considered in the future? I would hope so, because the stakes are so large. What's that's going to cost, how long that's going to take, that's a whole nother argument. So we may never see that, but you're absolutely right.
Awesome.
Okay. You good?
No, I just want her to speak as an attorney, because if she's, picking jury
cool.
and questioning and cross examination, all that.
2 other things that I want to give some pushback on, or just kind of bring the other side. Homeroom charter.
Right. People
don't understand that, right? And I feel that there needs to be some more information, or that needs to be amplified a little more prior to, elections, right? Prior to give them some kind of, position of research that they can even look up or understand some of the stuff. But if we're talking about a full community, some people don't even understand the language that's in the homeroom charter, right? And so
what's that, a homeroom charter?
You want to explain it?
Sure. So we're governed, that's basically the Constitution of Philadelphia. So you have a homeroom charter in Philadelphia, you got a state constitution, and you got the United States Constitution. And they sort of look at basic laws, but they're all pretty much like the same thing. They just be small little different stuff and small little different rules. Like it really is. Yep.
And so sometimes it's that last question that you see.
Right. So he's talking about ballot questions. So every election, it's like a referendum where we ask the citizens, should we change this? Should we change this? It takes approval by the people.
Yeah.
So you as the people, you look at these questions and you have to really, answer them. Now, most people answer yes. That's
just because
the mentality, they just like to press yes inside of a question. So, but we'll see. I mean, I do think it needs to be more education. Again, I think it's like, we have to dictate what we want to learn inside schools. And again, these platforms are so critical and so important that we can sort of look at these issues and sort of talk about it to people. And that's the way how it was like, in previous years, where people really just have serious conversations about civics. Now, a lot of like media is now focusing on a lot of national news now.
I know. That's where
everything is really going towards that because national is the ones that spend all the money. So we're seeing newsrooms being shrinked. So they don't really talk about it. But I still think it's a good opportunity for us to have these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be creative about as we're talking about them.
Oh, no, go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, no, I was just, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, speaking about civic duties and voter education, I just went through a campaign. And a lot of what I'm hearing about is that people who are in third grade up to 18, 21, 24, they're not getting the same in-school education that we used to get when we had the video, I'm Just a Bill. I
had
our local elections and things like that. Do you know of any efforts that are in schools or preparing to be in schools so we can get back on track?
So there is, but there's also like another component too where we don't really teaching stuff at home.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And then sometimes we had fearless teachers. Like I remember being inside school, my teacher was like, you know what? We got social studies book, we got this history, we're not gonna learn nothing from this. I'm gonna put this book right here. And I just remember our teacher just being so radical, just giving us all kind of stuff. I'm like, and it's like now it's like the teachers now they don't really do that. But it's all right though, right? Because we can still, influence these schools. Because they need help. Like a principal not gonna tell you, no, you can't come in and do mentorship programs, stuff like that, or after school programs. They're not going to tell you no. And we don't show up to these, homeschool associations. Like a lot of like when you really look at that stuff, like we are really giving up our responsibility. And I was just like I was sitting with my kids. I was like, all right, cool. So now Different World is on Netflix now. I'm like, we're gonna watch Different World. Like, watch it. Like this is really like what it's like. They was like, "Oh man, what you got me on?" I'm like, no, I said, just watch the first one. I said, let's get to the first one, and then they started getting to like the second, third one, like how Denise was budgeting, messing up her money, Whitley, all that stuff. Like it was like, and it was
a lesson,
and it was lessons that I was thinking about. Like, Dad, when I was young, I didn't peep all this, but now I'm coming back, I'm catching it. Like, oh wow, and so. They at a disadvantage, but again, it's like this all things that we gotta know what everybody's up against. And then still use our platform, still talk, and still just have meaningful conversations. When we had Thanksgiving, when we had Easter, when we had Ramadan, we really got time with our family. We got to talk to people and say, hey, man, what's going on with you? And sometimes we back up like, oh, I can't talk to them no more. They into this, they into that, they send their phone. Give me that phone real quick. We're going to put this on the side, put the tabs to the side. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna look at each other. We're gonna have this conversation, and we just got to give it to them. Just give it to them, and then once they got it, they're gonna be able to challenge what they hear in school. Oh, my mom told me this, and my dad told me this, and my dad told me that. Was a lot of. So when you go to school, it's like, oh, because even like me being younger, it was like, wait a minute, stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, no, challenge it. I got in trouble for it and all that kind of stuff, but ask questions why. Like, don't be just sit up there. And I think now it's just kind of like. Everybody just going along to get along. We work and we this, we that, and we ain't even got time to really think about it.
I think if schools were to formulate it where you have a mayor, you have a council person, you have to vote. I mean, they do vote like the prom queen, the best, like they do voting type of stuff.
They got social studies. I mean, we visit the schools. We visited every high school in the city. We didn't visit it. Like we visit them. They do their elections. We bring like the voting machines out. Now the top tier schools, they more involved than other ones.
And they have like mayors of the class.
Oh yeah, they got all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think.
But now I'll be keeping it a bean with you. It's the top schools. Like
Masterman,
Central.
Man, they roll. Hey. Now when it gets to like when it gets to
even
schools,
now even with voter turnout, which wards were in a more higher turnout than other wards? Don't they have that information?
They do, right? But what's interesting about the high schools though, right? Dobbins got the Dobbins got the governor's award.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And I was like, man, Dobbins, yeah, they got a nice program at Dobbins where they
That's
actually.
the gentleman.
Oh,
I forgot his
wow.
name.
Yeah.
He came to the show, was talking about how.
Nah, Dobbins actually got the governor's award. They was
Oh,
actually beating
great.
out them because you got some high schools that are 18 and the 17 they can serve as poll workers. So they, you know, it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So go ahead. You want to, before I jump in?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you know, the general primary election coming up in a couple
I'm sorry, real
months.
quick. You know, let me go real back. So you said about the number one area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Chestnut Hill.
Of course.
Yeah,
Chestnut Hill.
there it is.
So it's Chestnut Hill.
Yeah.
And then right next to it is Monterey.
Yeah, I know.
Right, that same. Then
Yeah.
it's like Roxborough,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
all up in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They're right there,
They
Overbrook,
active, yeah.
Winfield, and then
Miss
you,
Chubb,
and then it
just
comes
seen.
down like the center city,
Mm-hmm.
like South Philly, the top two parts, South Philly, Frankfurt, all the areas that you would want to live at.
Right.
The
That's
top
what.
voting
Yeah.
areas. That's what I'm saying. Like we talk about jury duty, vote, all of that. It's just a mindset that you want to just be a better citizen.
So I heard that the Northeast was a up and coming.
Oh yeah,
kind of,
Northeast.
yeah.
But the further part of Northeast,
Yeah.
like where all the Republicans are at.
Ah, okay.
So
gotcha,
Republicans
gotcha.
vote at a higher level.
Yeah. Okay.
They vote like it. They just vote
They
because
just
it's not that many of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that they got to turn out
Yeah.
to get certain things done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they vote at higher levels than Democrats.
Interesting. So I know you wanted to ask about I think
primary
the
election.
primary, but I think my question will be easily to transition into that because that will be my last kind of
Well, not necessarily about that
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay. So this is the question that I have, right? That I feel needs some type of change, and that's the closed primary. Because since we are we is state that's closed primary, right? We the
Correct.
only ones that's like that.
Right.
Oh no.
Right.
So how could that change? Because if someone is saying like they don't necessarily agree with, say, for example, something that, you know, maybe the Democrats doing, but they like what the Green Party is doing and they want to vote, but they can't. Like how is there any conversation based around any type of change with the idea of closed primaries?
So there's only one election, right?
Right.
Technically, right?
Okay.
And that's in November.
Mhm.
The primary is when you pick your parties.
Right.
So you make that decision and say, okay, who's going to run in November?
Mhm.
And you know, you vote. Now, if you're saying that you want to allow people to vote in your own party's election that don't pay the dues, then well, you're welcome to it. Anybody off the street could walk in and don't pay no dues, and then they could vote inside of your primary. You know, it's like, you think that's fair?
Interesting.
Like, and I'm saying to do because you think about it, because committee people, they do work all year long.
Yeah.
They don't just show up on election day. Those committee people, those world leaders, they work hard all year long.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if I'm contributing to this party with their time, their money, their efforts, to have somebody that's not a part of that party to make a decision on who that nominee is going to be for, you know, that candidate.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine if you had like a Democratic primary, like on the presidential side.
Yeah.
And you trying to pick out who you want between President Barack Obama and whoever else, all the Democrats. Then a bunch of Republicans walk in and say, we want y'all to pick this person.
Yeah, and I hear you. I think of
So that's
like,
what open.
yeah.
I mean, that's in theory what an
yeah,
open
yeah,
primary is.
Yeah.
Now, the way how some other people were saying, well, if people were independents, they should be able to get involved in whatever primary. And pick.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but you're still not putting the work in. So that's why it's like it's closed off to your particular primary.
I got you. Because I think of like the mayor of New York now. Right. That you have clearly, I mean, he's liked across the board, right? And for the most part, you know. So for the most part, right? But you certain people, I mean, if it was a closed primary, you couldn't vote for somebody who you think would be beneficial for the community if that's what you're fighting for.
Well,
the
you can
community.
change your registration. It takes like 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, look, I like the Democrat, I like what he's saying, or I like a Republican, I like what they're saying. Just change, you know, your registration, and then you're a part of that party, and you vote in that primary. Then you can vote in that primary. Then after that, if you want to change it, you can change it.
So it's that simple.
Yeah, it takes like 5 minutes.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. Just take 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go right to our website at vote.philly.gov.
No doubt.
Change your registration. Boom. It get changed. You want to change it back? Change it back. But I mean, so I mean, it will take a legislative change.
Yeah.
Up in Harrisburg for people to do that. We'll see. I mean, I think they got open primaries in like California and a few other states. I mean, you're still seeing Democrats and Republicans. It was at the same ratio, but I think if you did have open primaries, what you would have is you would have less influence from African Americans because most independents are white. So you'll have them involved in your Democratic primary. So just for context, it's like 600,000 Democrats, 100,000 Republicans, and like 100,000 independents. That's kind of like what make up the voting rules, give or take. That's like not like 7, so it's like 1 million. Yeah, so it's like 7, and then it's like 150 or whatever. They all break out.
Interesting.
So let's just say you had a Democratic primary, the independents can get into, let's just say the last mayor race, right? So you had Mayor Parker, then you got Helen Kim, you got Alan Dom, Rebecca Reinhardt. You guys, people don't look like us.
Yeah.
An independent could come in and say, "Oh no, I ain't gonna have no black woman mayor. You're gonna have this one," and they're gonna make the decision. So that's how it would play out.
Yeah, interesting.
Speaking of mayor, would you in the future ever consider running for mayor for City of Philadelphia?
Man, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. It's a thankless job.
No answer on that. Not right now.
I would consider it, but I don't know. After looking what man Parker going through, it's like, wow, man. It's like, and I saw like Mayor Kennedy do it. I saw another and on do it, but this is like, she really like cares, and she's really doing her job. And so one thing that Councilman Jones always told me was like, being in politics is easy if you don't care. But if you care, it's the hardest job you can.
Yeah,
that's heavy.
Wow.
And Parker, man, she like
say that
really
again.
cares. You said what? Oh,
Say
politics is easy if you don't care.
Wow.
But if you care about people, it's gonna be the hardest job in your life.
Yeah.
Governor Josh Shapiro just announced that he is going to run for a second term. What's your thoughts on that?
He should win. He should win. He's thinking about becoming president. Let's see how it's like, I don't know. I mean,
it's Trump.
My personal opinion about it all is just like, I know people got ambitions, but just focus on what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Master that. People
What TLC say?
What TLC?
What they say? TLC. Stick to the.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go
Stick to
chasing
the
waterfalls.
And I think he would make a fine president. I don't, but I still think it's just like, just for me, my personal thing, it's like, whatever job you got, just knock it off. You know what I mean? And do it well. But again, I know running for president, that's another one. It's not easy.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
not easy. It's not easy.
When someone tells you their vote doesn't matter, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd like to ask them, like, why do you feel that way? Because when you say that your vote don't matter, what you're really saying is that you don't matter. Right? To say something like that, man, it's a self-esteem thing. Running deep down inside of you, saying that you're insignificant, you don't mean anything. Like, that's what it all boils down to. I ain't serving on jury duty, ain't doing nothing. Look, cops is doing this, whatever. Any problem that you have in your community, you're passing off the buck and allowing other people to do it. And that's the fundamental problem we have in our community. We keep passing off responsibility to do things. We allow people to feed us. We allow people to educate our children. We allow people to do all these different things that we say that we care about and keep on passing the buck. And that level of responsibility, we have to believe that we have to do it. So, most of the times when they say things like that, I just ask like, no, why you think like that? I pull back some layers. And then when I'll come back down to it, it's really just like, man, my life is not doing well. So I don't really, come on, man. Like, and my thing is, well, if it's this bad, right, you need to participate that way you can get more. Because normally when things are going bad, that lower level normally jumps up. And so it's like, man, we didn't gave up. And it's like, nah, we ain't gonna give up no more. We're gonna fight back. We're gonna turn this around.
Yeah, when you think of the roots of that statement, even when there was a point where, there was a fight to vote. and think of where we are now. Like, is that just a catchphrase, or was there something more sinister behind it?
Well, when you think about it, I mean, that was more or less underlying love. So, right, those people that was in those hard conditions, right, when you go down to rural South, right, and then it was like when you visit down there, because I was blessed, man, to visit down there, right, go down to Selma every year. Mm-hmm. And just like looking at those conditions, like when I tell people like how it is down there, a lot of times we can't relate to it, right? Mm-hmm. When you go down there, there's still people walking around with those, the chain gangs in black and white uniforms. Mm-hmm. They still walk around in them.
What?
And they still be like working at like regular jobs at like Walmart, or they'll be at restaurants, and they do like this community service thing or whatever. And they work there. And I mean, like, yo, what the heck is this? You see that person right there? And I go, yeah, that's Jimmy. Yeah, he likes it, Wow. I'm looking like Jimmy.
And he's a prisoner?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, he walks around. So like different, like, so it's easier for him. They cut his time back, but he actually works in different work centers.
But with that,
with the whole get up on, I'm like, yo, what is this? Jackson, Mississippi. I'm like, well, what's going on, y'all? Yeah. And they just like, nah, it's just how it is down here. Don't get me wrong, everybody was nice and hospitable, but I was still kind of like, this is the way how we do things down here. I was just like, oh, okay. It's interesting. So that's just like sort of like one component. But when I went to the museum down there, they kept all the stuff from the civil rights movement, all stuff they was doing.
In Selma.
Well, this is in Mississippi.
Okay.
Jack,
okay.
But they all close.
Right.
Everything is only like a 2-3 hour drive this way. Okay. You get to Atlanta, you get to that whole sort of region. And you had a significant number of African Americans down there. But they were just afraid because they got, all the threats, their lives was taken, all other kind of stuff. So they was living inside of this bubble for a long time. Yeah. And so they wanted to step up. And people from the north came down, SNCC and all them said, man, you know what? What's going on down there? That was a nice, beautiful merge. We had young people that had futures that came down there and risked everything. Said, you know what? We're not going to keep living like this. And the reason why we're not going to live like this, right, it was a certain amount of love. And that love came from everyday workers all the way up to the top celebrities.
Wow.
So even when you said, okay, look, we doing this thing, it was everybody involved in it. And if you wasn't involved in it, you wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't sit on the sideline. So think about like Jay-Z, Beyonce, all of them, all in tune with everything that you're doing. Or if it's a busboy, Belafonte, all of them. They will come and do concerts. They will come do all kind of stuff like, oh no, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. Cool. We're going to buy y'all shoes. We're going to do this. So even in the music, the lyrics they saying, it's in support of everything that you're doing. So that was everybody working together. It was the love. I said, okay, look, the future is going to be better.
Wow.
And this is where we're not in tune. It's like the unity. It's not money. It's not all these different things that we're chasing. It's if everybody's on the same page to say, okay, you know what? We want a better condition than what the future has. That's when you're going to see the results.
Every day, right? I can't even. You realize what you don't know. The more every day you go, and the more information you get information that you don't know. That's crazy because I never knew. Shout out to them down there. Wow. I appreciate you just enlightening us with that information because Philly is in our own bubble, right? I mean, we call ourselves state, right? We the biggest city state area. We'll consider ourselves a country if we needed to, right? Philly against everybody, right? Philly versus everyone, right? But a lot of us are stuck in our little bubbles. I say that Philly got our own kind of like, our synergy, our environment, and our creative spirit and juices, and even like our Islamic community. Like Philly has its own little thing, right? But when someone come to Philly, it's like whoa. Like I just found out that there's people that fly, that they super Eagle fans and flying to Philly. I know they like, so it's something that they're getting, right? But it's interesting to see that, these little areas has their own kind of like, these are our morals, values. This is what we believe in. This is how we move. This is what we eat, because even, the menu is different, right? The way that they eat is different. So I think that if we focus more on just expanding each other's like culture environments, I think we'll be better in making a move to something, So I encourage everyone to reach out to We Talk Weekly. Like, let us know what you're doing. Like, follow, subscribe. Let us know what's going on in your area, in your city, your state. If your city is like your state, let us know. Like Philly, this is what we do. But reach out to us. But no, go ahead.
I did have one more question. So I'm preparing to, and I'm just saying this hypothetically, I'm preparing to, get ready to vote in this next election.
Yeah.
What would be your recommendation for me to prepare to vote? Like, as far as like doing my research, like what are some things you would recommend? And so I'm not just going blindly in the ballot booth and somebody's handing me a paper and saying, here, vote for this person, that person. Like, what do you recommend?
I recommend the internet. The internet has everything, right? The internet has everything. And then go to our website at vote.phila.gov. And so as the candidates sort of file, there's a lot of people saying, I want to run for this, run for that. You got to wait till you file on papers. And once you file on papers, we're going to have everybody's names on there. And you literally can go to everybody. They got their own website. And then what happens is you start asking questions, talking to people, right? What I used to do when I would always look, to see if I would support somebody. If I saw they had their campaign signs inside of my neighborhood, that at least showed me that you at least came to my neighborhood. Like, all right, you came here. Well, let me see what you're talking about. And then, we sort of like do your research, talk to people, ask people that's involved in politics that inside politics. Hey, man, this person all right? I mean, like, all right. If you see people that's running for judge, okay, attorney, what's going on, man? They that person they talk about they running around for judge. They got a good reputation, and that's sort of how you come back and say, okay, you like this person. If they visiting your church, they visiting your masjid, all right, you give them that, and, you go for it. But it's bigger than just who you voting for, though. The key is that you are voting, because what happens is the policymakers know, okay, you vote in this area, all right. They're going to get resources. They're going to get accountability because this area votes. So that's sort of what you get for it. And then if you don't like none of the candidates, you can just vote on the ballot question and say yes or no. But don't never have it a point in time where you just take elections off. You take elections off to look at that area and say, okay, that area, they don't vote. Okay, you know what? We're going to put a liquor store there. We're going to put gambling there. We're going to put whatever people don't want. We're going to do it there because those people don't come out to vote. And there's certain things you can do in areas that don't vote than other areas like Chestnut Hill. Because they're going to ask you questions. They're going to figure it all out. They're going to say, oh, no, what's happening? So you want to just encourage just the behavior of just voting, right? And then you do your research, but don't just stop there, right? If you got somebody that you like, you start advocating for that person, because a lot of people are not going to take the time to do the research. And you don't want them to get stuck and say, oh, I don't know who to vote for, and they don't vote.
Right.
Because it's like a 60% chance that people don't vote when they don't know who to vote for. So they got to be somebody they know, they trust, they respect, to say, you know what, I want you to vote, but I also want you to vote for this person. So it's just advocacy, something advocacy. I mean, it's almost, I'm not going to say it's like a game, but it's like, it's kind of interesting. It's fun to having people involved in everything.
Yeah.
Let's get everybody involved every 6 months. Like, so I want you to do. I want you to do this.
Yeah. And I like that you pointed out like that the areas that don't vote, because people don't know that when you don't vote, no resources go to that area.
I tell you, look at a map. Well, I tell y'all now, even when y'all drive around, just think about every area that you don't like. Think about it, and that's the area that's not going to vote, right? Then you might say, okay, cool, all right, let's look even a little bit deeper, right? If you walk on a block, right, any house that you see that's up and nice, more than likely those people vote, even if it's a bad neighborhood. Like when you look at it, it's like, oh no, this area, you start walking through each block, you'll be like, yo, man, let's turn nice. Oh, they super voters, they vote every time. You check, do they do jury duty? Yep, they do that. Do they do all these different things? So again, it's a mind shift that we got to think about, is us just being better citizens. This is the whole kit and caboodle. We don't just want to isolate just voting, because when you put it on one issue, politicians do something you don't like. Oh, I guess what that's what I'm going to say. No, it's everything, man. It's voting, it's keeping up your neighborhood clean, it's visiting, making sure your school is tight. Everything in this area, we got to look at to see how we fix it. Because you look at areas that were bad, how did they fix these areas up?
We gotta have you back. We gotta have you back.
Anytime.
So I'm gonna let you answer accent as soon as let me just do the sound check, and then we have to this ID, and then we have to close out on the radio. This is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle
and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and the beautiful
Tanisha Henry
and my guy
Chairman Omar Sabir.
No doubt. So how can everyone get in contact with you, find you, and all that good old stuff real quick?
Real simple. Our website, vote.phila.gov, vote.phila.gov. Google search me, Omar Sabir. Instagram, Omar for Philly. We're here. Reach out to us.
No doubt. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We Talk Weekly After the Talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. Make sure that you stay tuned and make sure that you stay locked. If you have any questions for us, make sure that you reach out. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to donate, you already know $ We Talk Weekly. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Last question I had. We were talking about AI, artificial intelligence. Is artificial intelligence, as it has any impact in the voting world, good or bad? Something that you guys utilize now that makes the jobs easier in regards to getting the word out to people, or not?
No, we don't use no AI.
No. What's your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
AI?
AI. What's your thoughts on
bad.
it? You think it's bad? Why?
Yes. Why? They got these robots they making. And they just did it in this it was just on 60 Minutes. They got these robots. They're about 5'8", about 170 pounds. They teach them everything. They're going to close down a whole factory of car makers.
Yeah.
They try to bring them to the country. They was already getting assisted with little. They got these robots, man, like our robot. They going to everything.
I mean, it's at the grocery store when you check yourself out. That's AI.
Yeah. When you go to the cruises, everything like.
Yeah.
And things you might have thought that AI robots would never take, and you always say, "Oh man, I could cut hair, I could do this, I could do that." Everything. They're gonna have braiders.
Oh, get out of here!
No, they got it. They already have
everything.
It was a black sister
They
that
already have
invented. Yep, it's a black sister who did it.
So you don't think it has any impact on voter, in the voting world, as far as even with the voting, the computers that have to tally up the votes.
Nah, everything is offline. We kind of,
Yeah.
everything is kind of old and archaic with voting. They don't.
Because when you go in the voting booths now,
No. It's computer stuff like that, but it's not connected to the internet. It's our own safe, secure sort of system. A lot of that stuff is it's not. It just moves
and you don't think it
because
has,
it's those outside factors. You don't want to put that stuff in jeopardy. It's just. And it's just not just here. It's just it's more modernized, but they don't really. The internet and all that kind of stuff, you don't really.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts on some of the misinformation and disinformation that you see on social media that you're just like, wow, I know that's fake and that's wrong information, geared to disinform voters?
Well, so it's geared to form African American voters. I mean, they just talk to black voters, really. They go on, they target you, and get you, knock them out to vote. Because it's more registered Democrats than Republicans. So a lot of those groups, they just spend a lot of money on misinformation, disinformation. And they target you. Like a lot of voters that got criminal background, stuff like that. They don't know, you can't vote. Yeah, they just you disqualified. They don't even know.
That's crazy.
And they're eligible. It's they target them. It's a sophisticated sort of operation that they do. But ultimately, it's just still got to get down to where we at and just talking to our folks. And, when we come out and just be real people and talk to people, people get it and they move on. And I think sometimes the problems that we have, we think it's going to take decades to fix. But the thing is, that's the unique thing about African Americans. Once they get popular in Philly, it's going to get to Baltimore, Atlanta. That's going to happen overnight.
Trendsetters.
So we just got to think about what that thing is and say, okay, you know what? I just want to go in this direction.
Yeah.
And even with the content, I think February is going to be a big month. Jill Scott about to drop.
Yeah.
And when she was on with Gillian Wallow, she's really challenging the status quo about what R&B was and what it is right now. And so that younger generation is is on it. Like, okay, cool. We like,
Mm-hmm.
so shit about the drop.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that trend goes back to like that neo soul.
It probably
talking
will.
about love and talking about that. So we'll see what happens, right?
I believe it.
And again, it happens overnight.
Yeah, and then like everything goes back anyway, from the styles and designs and how you dress and everything that goes right back around. So I'm sure the music is the same way. They said that R&B was dead. Then you started hearing people that's doing the crooning and the love music again. And for a while they said, well, where's neo soul? Neo soul is still around. You have people that's doing some around.
They did some of the music, like like all that drug use, man, all that stuff, man.
They tired of that.
I think they tired of that, man. It's like
it's
just to the point where it could tip like right back. So we just gotta make sure that we on it, take advantage of what we're doing, and just know what we're doing.
Yeah. I want to pull this up real quick. I want to share this because this is the woman. Braiding robot might solve the headache every Black woman has getting her hair done. A Harvard grad won the university's President's Innovation Challenge with the creation that tackles the frustration every Black woman experiences with their hair salon. And so, I mean, this Black woman creating that, and I say this about AI, right? If this AI isn't the boogeyman, right? I would say that get the information about it, right? And one thing that I hear a lot of people say is that AI won't take your job. It's somebody using AI that's going to take your job. So I would say that the most important thing at this point is that at the very least get some information about it so you know how to move or pivot. Because if you don't know it, that's when you're going to get stung.
And it's a little pushback on somebody's taking your job. Out of 10 people, it only takes 1 to 2 to operate the AI. So the other 8 loses their job.
Yeah. Or, I mean, everybody. So this is the thing, right? And my argument about people losing their jobs is there was once an industry that everyone used just coal. A lot of people don't use coal anymore. We use other forms of energy, right? So what happened to all the coal miners? There's a few left, but it's a lot of people that isn't, right? And so that's another job shift. And then you had people when we went into the war, it was a lot of people who, was making dungarees and jeans and stuff like that. Well, everybody was making jeans, but it wasn't people that was making the buttons for the jeans, right? So it was people understand what's the pivot and making something for that, right? So I
know what you just said, though.
What's that?
It's people doing different things.
Right.
Now it's like you got a robot that can work 24 hours.
100%. Yeah. No. I agree with that. I agree with that in that industry.
Think about all that. You're about to have automated cars.
Yep.
I
agree with that.
Tolls.
They just did it where
everything.
Nobody even got jobs.
McDonald's
doing the toll collection.
So now you're saying that the shift. All right, cool. The people that's going to run the machines, people that go to MIT. We don't go to MIT. We don't.
That's no. I think AI has been the equalizer for different people with different degrees, right? People who have a specialty in learning that might have a professional degree. You have people that don't have no degree and arguably are just as educated at this point in doing something than someone who went to Harvard for 4 years. I mean, literally, that's what's happening.
Maybe. But you got to think about it. Like that sister that was up there.
Yeah.
Remember, Harvard got the lab and all that. So
that's true.
Harvard owned all the royalties.
Yeah, that's
true. What she did was just basically take all of it. So it was a big movement, right, where they was trying to get licenses for the hair braiders. The state was trying to come in and say, you know what, we're going to do the license thing. And all that braiders said, you know what, no, we don't need the license.
Yeah.
We cool with all that. And we're not going to take a little check, $55,000.
Right.
And y'all going to regulate us. No, they did their own thing. They kept their own economy.
Yeah. No.
One slipped in through there, and now you got, we ain't going to need them no more.
I agree.
It's interesting. We just got to see how it all play out. But just 100%. The whole idea of it,
I mean, it's the way of the world that's different. We used to have people operator of elevators. You used to get on the elevator and they would not allow you to
still 1 or 2 out there.
So,
there's still 1 or 2 out there.
So it gets to the point now where I think my argument, I love AI. I'm actually a proponent for AI, but I believe that out of corporate, it was like you would hire somebody and you would hire two people. Once those two people were fired, you would hire one to do two people's job. That's how I think AI is doing. I don't think it's a pivot thing. I think it's people really losing their jobs because now this computer, instead of having 50 on the conveyor belt, it only needs 2 to operate AI. And now the 48 have to go out and find other careers.
Yeah, that's an industry though. That's a particular
right. But
industry.
think about it though, right? But here's the problem is. The problem is corporate greed, right? So with all of that, prices should go down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going into a supermarket and you gotta go in, you don't got a cashier, right? And you walking in and you scanning your own stuff, you carrying out your stuff looking tacky, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to. The prices should go down.
Yeah.
The prices
And you
are
got to
going up.
provide your own bag.
Right.
And,
So what's happening is you're gonna see this wealth thing just go.
yeah.
And then it's gonna be
It's
like, you know
happening.
what? Oh, you know what? Because now think about it. Like, to get a 1-bedroom apartment, come on,
Yeah.
man. It's like what, $2,000?
Yep.
And now
So
that
now it's impossible, even if you're making $56,000,
oh yeah.
you just can't afford to be here. So now
No.
guess what? You need to be over there.
Yeah, I mean, this is for CNBC, and this is that AI is creating new billionaires at a record pace. And so when you're talking about, because you're talking about certain industries, but AI is creating new industries that's equaling the wealth divide of people who
But it's
even
not
look like
us.
us.
No.
It is a lot of people. Look, I know these people. Right? I mean, I don't know billionaires. I wish I did know billionaires.
What I'm saying
I know
is,
you know billionaires.
No, I'm saying no, but the numbers, you gotta look at the different numbers though, right?
Right.
If they saying there's more billionaires, then it's more trillionaires. Like when a millionaire wasn't a millionaire what it was back then. So the same distribution is still there. It's still like we had like 2% like the wealth in slavery time. It's still like close to that. It's like 2%. Like 3% ain't go up.
Whenever you make a 30-year mortgage, a 50-year mortgage now, because they can't make the homes actually go down, you can't make the interest rate go down, but you're going to make the
people like us,
loan
though.
spread out longer. That's
It's
for
bad.
concern. You're like 50-year mortgage. 30 was crazy.
Yeah, I never.
But now
heard
you got
of
a
that.
50-year mortgage, and they're really pushing it to say, "Hey, okay, now go ahead and buy this home." That's still 1,700 square feet for 400,000. Like, that's
Simply numbers.
yeah.
But then if we shift, right,
Mhm.
and we really knew how to do the stuff, cut out your labor costs. But that's just us working, saying, you know what, we're gonna go buy the material, just build your house for 100,000. Like
For the
seriously.
land, yeah.
Get the land and go and
But-
build that joint. Like, and it's just knowledge and really teaching us.
Yeah.
That's really doing it really ourselves. Ain't no really shortcuts.
I think what's happening now with the shift that you were talking about is people are leaving the US because this conversation is not in other places. Other parts of the world, a lot of what we talked about, the debt to ratio, is reasonable. It's livable. People here, even the homeless, is rich. You still get a check for being born. You know what I mean? They can still get SSI. So here
in a manner of speaking, like,
Yeah.
you're in equivalence, the equivalent of
yes,
someone. I got you.
like,
yeah.
but in other places, it's like it's still where it's affordable. So people in the U.S. are now finding land in the DR, to different places of the world. They're going to Haiti, they're going to Bahamas, and they're
getting dual citizenships.
They're
and
doing
stuff,
dual
yeah.
citizenship, and they're still getting their checks into your Wells Fargo, your TD, and you're using your money to pay another country to live.
I heard
So-
about that.
So,
But
a
then
lot.
they rolling over here though.
Mm-hmm.
Those same people in them places still want to come here.
They want to come here. Yeah.
Yeah,
They come in
do.
banana boats.
Yeah,
They here.
yeah, that's
Every
true.
shot
That
they here,
that
it's like
that's true. But
it's amazing.
so we also talked about how a lot of us are going over there to have medical tourism. We're taking our money to go to I just came back from Turkey.
I heard about that. You did the scan thing?
Huh? The what?
That scan thing? You did it when you were over there?
Oh no,
The body scan, John?
No. That the medical tourism. I went and got some dental work.
Okay, cool.
And then I
So
did a
was
lot
it-
of
yeah.
I did a lot of spa. I
Wow,
did facial treatment, massaging, and it was. I mean, when I say 75% less, 75% less here.
Slide me them details. I got some work I need to do.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Because I think for like 5,000, you can get a whole all your tests you need. They do.
Oh, you the whole
Yes.
body skin. You talking about?
They-
They do everything.
And they pick you up in a
Yeah,
Maybach,
yeah,
which
that's
that's
what
what
I
they
heard
picked
about.
me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pick you up and take you to every appointment, and that money is included in your food and your lodging in a 5-star hotel.
Treat you like a queen, king.
The same medical doctors is like it's
They
a little
come here.
monopoly they got. You come over here,
Yep.
The people that be like doctors, they be like, nah, man, I'm a real like doctor. I gotta go over there. They're gonna take all of my education away, and I gotta go play their game again.
But the game is gonna catch up because their prices are going up. But they learning too.
Because we coming over here.
Yeah.
doing what you
did.
So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talk weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Classy Lady
and
Sparkle.
the beautiful and the beautiful
Tanisha Henry.
How can I get in contact with you one more again?
Oh, again, vote.phila.gov, vote.phila.gov, or Instagram Omar for Philly. Omar should be on Facebook. I'm around if you need me.
All right, so I just seen that. Let me see. Somebody gave me a text because they was listening. Shout out to Ben because she be on top of it. She be on top. Shout out to Sheila. But I said when the next time you come back, she said you already scheduled to come back.
Okay.
She said you already scheduled to come back. Shout out to Sheila. She be on top of it. All right, y'all. So make sure you continue to tune in, like, and subscribe. We talk weekly. We're here and. One thing to always think about, just continue to do your research, continue to learn. Learning never stops, right? I always say school isn't for everyone, but education is. And so always educate yourself. And we out here like last year, y'all. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.